Aneta Corsaut mesmerized us with her performance on The Andy Griffith Show. But did you know the heartrending story she kept hidden away from the cameras? From the daunting challenges of motherhood and marital strife to the shocking confession she left behind, her life was full of startling revelations. Stay tuned till the end to discover the untold truth about Aneta Corsaut. Aneta Corsaut, a versatile actress with immense talent, was most commonly recognized for her unforgettable performance as Helen Crump on the iconic television series The Andy Griffith Show. However, her contribution to the world of entertainment goes far beyond her portrayal of this beloved schoolteacher. With her striking auburn locks and captivating presence, Aneta Corsaut quickly captured the hearts of audiences everywhere. Born on November 3, 1933 in Hutchinson, Kansas, Aneta majored in drama at Northwestern University and trained with the legendary acting coach Lee Strasberg, who is hailed as the father of method acting in America. Despite dropping out of college during her junior year, Aneta remained steadfast in her pursuit of a career in acting, which eventually led to her becoming a prominent figure in the entertainment industry. Though she left during her junior year to pursue her dreams of becoming a professional actor, she remained steadfast in her determination to continue her education, and later enrolled in courses at the prestigious University of California, Los Angeles. In 1955, Aneta's talent caught the attention of television audiences, and she landed guest appearances on two popular shows, the live program Producers Showcase and the Robert Montgomery-hosted drama Robert Montgomery Presents. However, it wasn't until 1958 that Aneta's star truly began to rise with her feature film debut in the beloved science fiction classic The Blob, where she shared the screen with the iconic Steve McQueen. Initially, Aneta Corsaut's character, Helen Crump, was only meant to appear in a few episodes of The Andy Griffith Show. However, her impeccable acting skills and undeniable charisma impressed the producers so much that they made her a recurring character. Surprisingly, Helen Crump was not intended to be Sheriff Andy Taylor's love interest. The plan was for him to have a long-lasting relationship with Ellie Walker, a new character who worked at her uncle's drugstore. Actress Eleanor Donahue played Ellie Walker in 12 episodes of the show as a guest star, and her performance was so remarkable that she even earned a special mention in the opening credits. However, despite her success, Donahue decided to break free from her 3-year contract after just one season, leaving the writers with the task of finding a new love interest for Andy Taylor. It's clear that the show's romantic storyline was not easy to navigate, especially with Griffith's reluctance to engage in on-screen romance. Eleanor Donahue's decision to leave The Andy Griffith Show after just one season came as a surprise to many, given that her character Ellie Walker was initially intended to be a romantic interest for Sheriff Andy Taylor. However, Donahue never felt a real connection with Andy Griffith, which made their on-screen relationship appear stiff and unconvincing. In an interview, Griffith admitted that he had a difficult time showing romantic affection on screen, which contributed to the lack of chemistry between the two actors. As a result, Ellie's character was written off without any explanation to the viewers. Her departure left a gap in the show, which was later filled by Aneta Corsaut's character, Helen Crump. Originally intended to appear in just a few episodes, Corsaut's portrayal of Helen was so impressive that producers decided to make her a recurring character. In fact, Helen was not initially supposed to be Andy's love interest, but due to the chemistry between the two actors, the character eventually became Andy's girlfriend and eventual wife in the spin-off series Mayberry RFD. According to Daniel Davis's book, Andy and Dawn, The Making of a Friendship and Classic American TV, a romantic relationship between Andy Griffith and Aneta Corsaut took place off-screen. However, the relationship never turned into a serious commitment, and eventually they both moved on. Following her appearance in Mayberry RFD, Corsaut landed several guest roles in other TV programs, such as Heart to Heart, Valentine's Day, and Emergency. Additionally, she played the role of Officer Pete Malloy's girlfriend on Adam 12. Despite her limited appearances on Mayberry RFD, Corsaut's career continued with a few recurring roles in other TV shows. Aneta Corsaut refused to let herself be typecast and continued to work in the entertainment industry after her time on The Andy Griffith Show. She landed a role in a medical sitcom called House Calls in 1980, where she acted alongside Wayne Rogers, best known for his role on MASH. This time around, Corsaut played the head nurse, a far cry from her previous role as a schoolteacher in Mayberry. But it wasn't long before she returned to Mayberry to reprise her role as Helen Crump in the TV movie Return to Mayberry in 1986, opposite her on-screen husband, Andy Griffith. That wasn't the end of their on-screen collaboration. For her final role, Corsaut joined Griffith again for his series Matlock, playing Judge Cynthia Justin. Despite her short appearance behind the judge's bench, Corsaut's contribution to the show was memorable. She appeared in just 4 episodes before her untimely death in 1995, leaving behind a legacy that has made her a beloved figure in the entertainment industry. Aneta Corsaut reunited with her on-screen husband Andy Taylor, played by Andy Griffith, in the television movie Return to Mayberry, which premiered in 1986. She then worked with Griffith once again on his popular series Matlock, where she played the role of Judge Cynthia Justin. Corsaut appeared as the judge in 4 different mysteries, including a 2-part episode titled The Evening News. This marked her final acting appearance before retirement. Corsaut also appeared alongside Marion Ross, known for her role as Mrs. Cunningham on Happy Days, in the sitcom Mrs. G Goes to College. The show followed a mid-aged widow, Gertrude Berg, as she headed to college as a freshman. Ross played Berg's daughter, and Corsaut played the role of a neighbor who was married to a professor. They both made their debut on the show in the episode The First Day in 1961. Corsaut was not only a part of the entertainment industry, but also a co-author of a mystery quiz book titled The Mystery Reader's Quiz in 1981, which she collaborated on with Muff Singer and Robert Wagner. The book included quizzes, acrostics, and puzzles that would challenge, entertain, and humble mystery enthusiasts. Before gaining recognition from her role on The Andy Griffith Show, Corsaut appeared in several other productions. Her most notable appearance was in The Blob, a sci-fi horror movie from the 1950s that also marked Steve McQueen's debut in the industry. The film's special effects were remarkable, but the casting director deserves some appreciation as well. In the early days of their careers, Steve McQueen and Aneta Corsaut landed the lead roles in The Blob, a horror flick that has since become a cult classic. The movie kicks off with the 2 young actors locking lips at Lover's Lane. But did you know they were actually dating in real life at the time? As revealed in Suzanne Murtico's book, Meet the Blob, their on-screen romance was a reflection of their off-screen love. Speaking of interesting behind-the-scenes details, did you know that Aneta Corsaut named a Mayberry character after a friend? Only to end up getting sued by said friend. In an episode of The Andy Griffith Show called The Mayberry Band, Mayor Roy Stoner notices that the local band is in dire straits. But never fear, Andy is on the case. And as luck would have it, rock and roll sensation Freddie Fleet and his band happened to be passing through town, giving the folks of Mayberry a chance to jam out to some tunes. In the episode The Mayberry Band, Sheriff Andy brings in some extra talent to help out the struggling Mayberry band, which includes a stylish horn player named Phil Sunkel, a character named by Aneta Corsaut as a tribute to a jazz musician friend of hers with the same name. However, the real-life Phil Sunkel was less than thrilled when he found out that his name was being used on the show without his consent. In fact, sources say that Sunkel filed a lawsuit against the production for $20,000, which translates to about $180,000 in today's currency. Needless to say, it was a messy situation. Despite being married with 2 children, Andy Griffith reportedly made several romantic advances towards Aneta Corsaut. While Griffith was a beloved performer and highly respected by both fans and critics for his work, there were some less admirable antics going on behind the scenes, including his extramarital affair. The Andy Griffith Show enjoyed immense popularity during its run, with Griffith's wit and charm winning him a devoted following among audiences. Andy Griffith's charisma wasn't just limited to his fans. The actor had a particular affinity for women, and one of them just so happened to be on the set of The Andy Griffith Show. While everyone tried to keep calm about the situation, it was no secret that Griffith was smitten with his co-star Aneta Corsaut, who played the role of schoolteacher Helen Crump. Despite being married to Barbara Bray Edwards and a father of two, Griffith simply couldn't resist the allure of the stunning Corsaut. As the two began dating on and off the set, their relationship quickly turned into a full-blown romance. They tried to keep it out of the public eye, but author Daniel DeVries revealed in his 2015 book Andy and Dawn that this wasn't Griffith's first affair, but it was certainly the most intoxicating of them all. Andy Griffith's infatuation with Aneta Corsaut was so intense that he couldn't resist popping the question to her, even though he was already a married man with 2 children. As Aneta later revealed, he proposed to her multiple times, with some sources suggesting it could have been as many as 3 times. Unfortunately for Andy, Aneta turned down his advances. The couple's romance was no secret to others on the set of the show, and at one point the crew decided to play a little prank on the lovebirds. They set up a meeting at a hotel where Andy and Aneta had been sneaking off to be alone, hoping to catch them in the act. However, the joke was on the crew when the couple discovered what was going on, and they were not amused. After the Andy Griffith Show came to an end, both Griffith and Corsaut got the opportunity to work together once again in the show's spin-off, Mayberry RFD. However, what many fans of the show may not realize is that the fictional town of Mayberry was actually based on Andy Griffith's real-life hometown of Mount Airy, North Carolina. While the Andy Griffith Show was primarily filmed at Desilu Studios in California, with exterior shots filmed at 40 Acres in Culver City and wooded areas filmed at Franklin Canyon in Beverly Hills, the show's setting of Mayberry was based on a small town in North Carolina. Despite Griffith denying the connection between Mayberry and Mount Airy for years, there is clear evidence of the connection in the show itself. In the episode A Black Day for Mayberry, viewers can see the words Mount Airy clearly displayed on the side of a phone book sitting on the sheriff's desk. This connection between the show and Griffith's hometown has since become a point of pride for the residents of Mount Airy, who have embraced their town's association with the beloved television series. In fact, the town has even gone so far as to rebrand itself as Mayberry and has become a popular tourist destination. Visitors can take a tour of the town's Mayberry-themed attractions, including the Andy Griffith Museum and the Mayberry Courthouse, and even take a ride in a replica of the squad car from the show. Aneta Corsaut may have played a variety of roles throughout her acting career, but it was her portrayal of Helen Crump on The Andy Griffith Show that many people still remember her for. Unfortunately, her life was cut short due to cancer in 1995, leaving fans to reflect on her time on the show and the legacy she left behind. Although Corsaut and Griffith's on-screen chemistry was undeniable, the reality of their off-screen relationship was far from ideal. Corsaut was always known as, quote, the other woman, regardless of whether or not she wanted to be in that position. It must have been difficult for her to navigate the public scrutiny and judgment that came with her affair with Griffith, especially since he was already married with children. Corsaut's life was tragically cut short due to her battle with cancer, but before she passed away, she left behind a note that shed light on her unhappy marriage. Perhaps she had come to the realization that if Griffith was willing to cheat on his wife with her, he was likely to do the same to her if they were ever to become a couple. It's a poignant reminder that even the brightest stars can have complicated personal lives, and that behind every character, there is a real person with their own struggles and challenges to overcome. Griffith's personal life remained shrouded in secrecy, despite his widespread fame and acclaim. Although there were rumors of a closer relationship between Griffith and Ron Howard, who played his on-screen son Opie, the truth is that his children were his absolute favorites. However, it's worth noting that Griffith wasn't the only one with a mischievous streak in the Andy Griffith Show cast. As the show's undisputed leader, he set the tone for a playful and light-hearted atmosphere on set. often staging practical jokes, especially aimed at his co-star Don Knotts. Griffith called Knotts by his first name, Jesse, which he knew his friend disliked. Although Knotts was typically reserved off-camera, Griffith took pleasure in disrupting his peaceful moments, even going so far as dropping loud film canisters to wake him up from naps. Andy Griffith, known for his iconic roles in film and television, was not only a talented actor, but also a notorious prankster. He loved to play practical jokes on his co-stars and crew members, which often led to retaliation in the form of even more elaborate pranks. One infamous incident involved the cast and crew stealing his shoes from the set and returning them to him bronzed at the end of the season. Griffith's children, including his daughter Dixie Griffith and his late son Andy Samuel Griffith Jr., were both adopted during his marriage to his first wife Barbara Bray Edwards. Griffith was fiercely protective of his children and wanted to shield them from the public eye and the paparazzi, which he believed would have invaded their privacy. Despite his success and fame, Griffith never lost sight of what was truly important to him, his family. His legacy in the entertainment industry spanned several decades and earned him numerous accolades, but he will always be remembered as a beloved father and husband. Griffith passed away in 2012 at the age of 86, leaving behind a lasting impact on the world of entertainment. 50% of the show was owned by Andy Griffith. Sheldon Leonard, the producer of The Danny Thomas Show, and Danny Thomas employed the services of Arthur Stander, an experienced comedy writer who had worked on numerous Danny Thomas episodes, to come up with a pilot episode for Andy Griffith. The show would feature Griffith as a justice of the peace and newspaper editor in a small town. Since Griffith had a rural background and had previously played rustic characters in movies, on Broadway, and on the radio, the William Morris Agency believed he was the perfect fit for the role and encouraged Leonard to cast him. When Andy Griffith was first approached to do the show, he had mostly worked in movies and was not very familiar with television. He agreed to take part only if he was given a 50% share in the show. After some discussions between Leonard and Griffith, he traveled to Los Angeles and filmed the pilot episode. At the time of his death, Andy Griffith's net worth was an estimated $35 million. Aneta Corsaut, who played the character Helen Crump, was loved by viewers. Both the character and the actress were from Kansas, with Helen Crump being a schoolteacher from there. Aneta wanted to be a teacher on her own, and she also had her own house. During the scene where Barney and Helen argued about whether or not they should get married, Barney thought Helen would quit her job as a teacher. Helen made it clear that she didn't want to quit her job, but she wasn't annoyingly independent like some other female characters are. In her last years, Ms. Corsaut fought cancer, and she died of it on November 6, 1995, in Los Angeles, California. She had lived for 62 years when she died. She was a devoted Catholic, and her body was put to rest in North Hollywood, near the Valhalla Memorial Park Cemetery. People will remember her by the name Helen Crump. Corsaut's death was sad news for the movie industry. She was called one of the best serial acts in history, and her part on The Andy Griffith Show was called one of the best impersonations ever. She never got to experience the joys of being married or of being a mother, but she was a hardworking, highly skilled actor with great beauty, personality, and charm. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.